if Halo was the golden child of the original Xbox, Gears of War might have been one of the golden childs of the 360 era. When the 360 was the console to have at the time, I wasn't as into the Halo games that were out. I was more into Gears of War. So interesting matchup, both from Microsoft. One's coming from Epic Games though, and man, what an epic series of games they were for a while.
Let's talk. Which series is the best? Halo versus Gears of War. But let's start with our experience. I think it's safe to say all three of us were Gears fans at some point.
Very limited amount of time, but yes.
I still say I am.
And I
Not
was
like
and still am, but
avid,
not
though.
as much as Alex here. So let's go into our experience with Gears of War. What's your experience with Gears of War, Spencer?
Resident old man gamer here. Yeah, I remember when this game came out, it was huge. It was marketed as like a shooter where you could also chainsaw a alien to death.
Oh
So
yeah.
or a monster, really. I don't fucking know what they are. But they it had a lot of attitude and it had a lot of really big guys. So it was more marketed like when I remember it coming out, it was more the ideas of it were exciting. The gameplay itself, to be seen. When it came out, it was fun. A lot of fun. But there is kind of a requirement to it to me is that it has to be played multiplayer. If you're not gonna play this game multiplayer, you're missing out on like 50% of this game. As played as a single player, I remember I played this game with a friend, had an absolute blast. The first one I'm talking about. By the time the second one came out, I was kind of out, but played the first one with a friend, and we tore it down. It was so much fun, like hollering, hooting. I played this game by myself like a month later, and I fell asleep by like mission 2. I was like, this is boring. It's really a bro shooter, and I think it brought that element out more than Halo did because Halo took itself very seriously, and Gears was clearly just out there to have a good time. And I mean, it has its moments, but in general, I mean, it's just a crazy game. So the invention of the bro shooter, I think, starts with a combination of Halo and Gears, and I think it's an important landmark for Microsoft. And I don't know about its global effect on gaming as a whole. I feel like it's still almost its own niche, but the bro part is important.
Mm. Yeah. When I say I'm a fan of Gears, I mean I'm a fan of like what the first three games and like what they've given after those first three games that weren't by Epic. They're good, but they just don't give you a lot, you know? That's just like after the first three Gears of War games, which were at the time were like revolutionary games, you know, cover shooters, great multiplayer games. The online multiplayer was never my thing with those games, but they were fun. I played a little bit of it, but I was mainly into like the campaigns and like the horde mode. Horde mode was huge. I mean, I love
Yeah,
that
horde
in like
mode's
Gears. Woo, that's fun. But yeah, and it seemed like after Gears 3, they did that Judgment game, which was not by Epic, but by People Can Fly. That was the company. And it was like, it was fine. Like, it wasn't bad. It was fine. And then it was like, and then Coalition took it over for Gears 4 and 5. And they're also fine games. Like, they're not bad games at all, but they're just like more of the same, you know? It just seems like you're just playing more, you're just playing more Gears of War. So I was a huge fan of the series back on 360, and I still am a fan of the series, but I always just kind of wish they would have done something with the games. I think 5 tried a little bit. They did like a little bit of like an open world thing with 5, which was neat, but it still just kind of felt like more Gears of War. So it just, you know, it was like by Gears 4 and 5, it's like, guys, what are we doing? Like, why are we still doing this? You know?
Sure. I mean, I really think, and I've yet to play one outside of the first one, But that first one, when it first came out, commanded attention. The first game I could think with chainsaws attached to your
Oh.
automatic weapons, the active reload, the co-op pick your buddy up, the massive beefcakes, and it was not a perfect game. It was sloppy. I think if you played this again since then, you can kind of see that with either the co-op or some of the solo player stuff. But man, was it epic! It just was so. Like, there was so many moments in the game, so many big bad enemies. Just like the experience getting the sniper rifle, getting the active reload, getting the headshots, man, picking them off, using the hammer of dawn on these big massive creatures. A big berserk guy, I think, comes chasing. So many moments, and I think it was a real competitor to Halo at first, and I think over time it just became less interesting. Like Horde mode, I get it. I get the appeal of Horde mode, but if that's all they were really banking on, I don't see that as enough to compete with the legendary likes of the Halo series.
It is notable to me though that Gears always had a better cast of characters for me. Like there's so many Gears characters I can quote, and and I remember not counting just like the main 4 team members you have, but just other characters you run into or like other enemies you fight. And Halo, it's like Master Chief and Cortana, like the Arbiter, I guess. It's like they don't really have that big of a cast of characters, and that was a big appeal for me for Gears was like just the personality that the games had.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It was screaming with
it almost-
personality. Like that was, I think it hinged on it.
Literally screaming.
Whoa, gold trade. But without it, I don't know that it even would have been half the game. I think that makes for a big part of it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of personality, you can't talk about Gears without talking about Cliffy B, our boy.
Our boy.
The Blazinskis.
Big B.
Huge dude. 49.
Yeah, huge the dude. Giant the dude.
A giant among men.
I just remember like back when he was marketing his game here. He was so noteworthy because gaming journalism had always been like a trying, I guess, to be serious, even though it's nonsense. But there were like rules and protocols, and then Cliffy B, like in an interview, he'd be like, "Yeah, their game's fucking awesome." Like he would just say that, but it was like, did he just say fucking what?
Shameless.
Do you remember the Mad World trailer for the first Gears where was playing that song?
It's a very, very
Yeah.
Mad
Yeah.
World.
You know what? It's funny that you say that because on my recording, I'm playing trailers for all the games, and this
you
one
play that
is Gears of War Xbox 360 trailer, Mad World trailer.
That's such an iconic trailer, That's such a cool trailer.
Yeah,
But this one's hard for me. I think.
I know you think it's a good trailer. I just find it kind of funny.
Well,
I find
at
it
the
kinda
time,
sad.
it was cool. Yeah.
on,
You guys
Alex,
doing the
come
weird.
on.
I don't know the song. You listen to that damn song. I don't even know
You
who
just
this song
said
by.
you like the Mad World trailer. You don't know
It's
the
a cool-
first line of the song.
I know the music, like the piano, like the sad piano music. I don't know the lyrics.
The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. Come on.
That's
I
true.
don't know the song, guys.
People just keep saying lyrics to the song and I'm just like not know what we're talking about.
I know the part where he goes, "It's a mad world."
That was next. Mad World.
Why the hell did you sing that like the fucking guy from Alice in Chains?
To be honest, I don't like that song, Mad World. I think it's a really stupid song. It's
Yeah.
Tears for Fears. That's who does
Is
it.
it Tears for Fears? I have no idea.
I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong on that.
Did they do that one song that's like shout,
Shout.
let it all out?
Maybe I'm wrong on that. Whoever it is, I really think it's a bad song. And when this trailer came out, it became like everyone's favorite song in my thing. They're like,
Wait, is
and
it
I was
John
like,
Mayer? Is it John Mayer? Is it him?
No, he might have done a remake, but this is way. This is
Who the
not-
hell is this?
I don't want to change my thing, but let me look. Who does Mad World?
Platinum Games. They made Mad World for the Wii.
Tears for Fears. I'm right.
Oh,
you
you
go.
were right.
But yeah, when this song when this trailer specifically came out, my friends were like, "Have you heard that Mad World song?" And I'm like, yeah, freaking like lyrically, it's a nightmare. It's like terrible.
I couldn't
it's just-
imagine bragging about hearing the Mad World.
Well,
Like, I'm
that's the
secretly
dude bro
listening to
thing.
it. But dude, have you
Well,
heard
it
the
only
Mad
works-
World?
It only works for the trailer because it's like so contrasting, right? Because it's like sad and music, and you're seeing Marcus fight like spiders and stuff, you know.
Yeah, well, I just see Teddy. I was a little older, and so I had friends that were kind of getting out of high school, and they're feeling things now. Like they're trying to be girlfriends and stuff, and so they're just like, this song speaks to me. You know, this song's fucking dumb, dude.
No, dude.
No,
No.
listen to it.
Listen to the lyrics.
Listen to
It
the
just
lyrics.
speaks to me. What more dreams where I'm dying?
Yeah.
You guys ready to vote?
Sure. Halo.
You know, it's almost apples to oranges, but if we're gonna have to do it, I would say Halo. Yeah.
I'm going Gears on this one. I think I'm just more of a Gears fan overall. And if I was going to go back and play those campaigns again, I'd probably like to play more Gears. I'm
What
gonna go
makes them
Gears.
better games or better series?
Well, for one, I don't like the campaign in Halo 3, so I'm really putting like Gears 1, 2, and 3 up against Halo 1, 2, and 3.
That makes sense.
And while I do really like Halo 1 and 2, Halo 3 is kind of lackluster. I think all three of those Gears games have really good campaigns.
Okay.
And are just really replayable to me. So I like both, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably play Gears again.
Fair. But you're outvoted. Halo wins.
No! Cliffy B, you see what I voted for? Send me something. Send me a copy of your Lawbreakers game or whatever the hell. What the fuck was that game?
Free download code to Lawbreakers.
Send me a copy of Jazz Jackrabbit on
There you go.
floppy disk.
Hell yeah.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.